Hello, continuing from the last video on setting up your document. In this video we'll cover some of the steps in digitizing. So something I should point out here is that, I'll just bring this up actually, unlock that so we can select it. You notice this hint down here that says group of 17 objects in layer topo map. So that's a really useful tool, this hint. It's context sensitive help menu bar down the bottom. It kind of tells you what kind of things you can do and where this object is located. So I'll just lock that and hide that again. Now we're going to start with the just wanted to go through a bit of an overview of what the digitizing process is. So the first thing we start with is drawing the geological units. So there's the schist there, Manitoto Formation I think. Then we want to draw the boundaries, then we're going to do digitizing the faults and declines, etc. Then plotting the foliation and bedding, any annotation elements. Then next you want to sort of do the same process but for the GVS or cross sections that you might have, and then you just want to bring it all together and export it when you're done. So starting with drawing the polygons, what we want to make sure first is that we've got unit colors as the active layer, and we want to set the opacity of this layer to 50%. I'm just showing you what the way I kind of developed for doing this. If you find it easier to do it a different way, then you should go ahead and do that. So what we want to do is draw from the bottom up, and we want to rough in the first unit and then draw the detailed boundary on top, so that we only have to draw the boundary correctly once, and we don't have any of these sliver polygons between them. So I think you'll just see what I mean when I say this just from watching. So I'll start with trying to draw this schist as the first one. So I'll come here and I'm just going to cut right through there. I'm going to do it quite rough around the edges, and we can always clean that up later. So it just gets this default black stroke here, and I want to use this eyedropper tool, which, so if I had more room here it would show up, but it's not. So if I just single click, it'll give it a purple and translucent background. And for the stroke, you notice if I hover here it says that I can set the color by clicking, or shift click to set the stroke. Now what I want to do is shift click and give it this kind of lurid green stroke, and I also want to, if I go to fill in stroke, object fill in stroke, I want to make this line a bit thicker as well, so I can see it nicely there. And I'll just close that fill in stroke panel. So this is just so I can see the lines that I'm drawing easily compared to the lines that are already on that scanned map. Okay, so I'll just go back to this pen tool, and I'm going to set no fill. Oh, sorry, there was a mistake. Just going to start with this pen tool, and then I'm going to, don't have to get this perfect, just kind of roughly go along here. You can do it a bit more neatly than I'm doing it, but you can also go in and fix it later if you need to. And I want to put one just at the intersection there, and then I just want to skip through as quickly as possible. bring it over here, and there's this boundary going down here as well where it's not mapped, and then just connect it up. You see that red indicator when it connects up there, and then the same process with bringing the eyedropper in and get this sort of brown colour. And then I also like to get this stroke, but I'm not going to change the weight because could get a bit tedious. And you'll notice that it's basically drawn over that, and that's because the opacity is being applied to the layer as a whole, not to the individual units. So that's something quite useful to be aware of. Okay, so going back to this tool, and we'll do this one next. So I'll just come along. So I'm going to draw this contact because it's with the unit that I've already drawn. So I'll draw this one in detail. One thing I should point out is you can do Bezier curves, but I think it's easiest just to draw straight line segments. You notice I'm just cutting right through here, so I just don't, it's not important. I'm going to draw that contact in the next layer. I might just get through just about there, connect that up, and then again with the eyedropper tool, I'll pick out that nice yellow there, and just shift click on that green so that I can distinguish it easily. And then the last one will come in here. We need to draw all of the boundaries for the last one. Okay, and then again we'll use the dropper tool and we'll pick that colour there, and I'll give it that shift click there. So now it's sort of useful. I might just hide this scan map and we can see what we've kind of made. So I can also just toggle this opacity to see that's what we just digitized there. So bringing the scan field map back on, what we can do now with our green boundaries, we can quite easily distinguish them from where the actual ones are. So we can use this node tool to adjust the position of the line. We can also add new nodes in. So if I want to add a new node in that segment, I click there, add one. So I want it to right. I'll move that one down to there. So yeah, it's sort of useful to just do it roughly and then you can come in and kind of edit it. And that concludes this video.